We were just talking about outright bets in
Hmm.
golf, and the general strategy is obviously you put a small amount on some of these winners to try to hit a bullseye. But in golf, it's so tough to predict outright winners because looking at some of these plays, even if Scotty Scheffler has a great 4 rounds of golf and loses in a playoff, you get $0 if you put money on him to win outright. So I know I kind of shy away from these markets. Are you big on outright bets in golf?
I'm big on maybe an outright bet or two, but I'm with you in that it's so difficult to win these bets. So I generally like a top five or top 10 bet, and I've got a couple of those at plus money. But I always like, just for a little fun, I like putting a little bit on an outright winner where there's a ton of value there and you're not handicapping yourself or you're not setting yourself back by putting a big number on someone to win outright. Again, those are super tough to come home, but I like to have a little bit on there just to have a little action, particularly if I can get good odds.
Here's the case for taking outright winners. If you are taking one of the favorites to win the tournament and they're going into the final day of the tournament and they actually have a shot at winning, you can also hedge out of this bet and you
Yeah.
can put money on somebody else to win the tournament and still come out with some sort of a profit because these odds shorten every day at these tournaments. So, speaking of Scotty Scheffler, he's 16 to 1 to win the tournament. I know a lot of people like him, including Jason Scott, VP of trading for BetMGM, that came on the show earlier this week. So if he's 16 to 1 to win outright, if he's going into Sunday with some kind of a lead or at least a chance at the lead, he's probably going to be, plus 300 or something to win the whole tournament. So maybe there's a way to make money there, but that's kind of getting in the weeds. I know for new bettors, you're probably thinking, what is she talking about? If you check on your bets during the course of the tournament, sometimes there's cash out options. So be aware of that. It's another strategy for outright bets, but I don't know. It's kind of a lot of work.
No, I agree. And it's a little into the weeds, but I also think it's important because there are different ways to bet different sports. And sometimes you can find an angle or a way to bet something that you wouldn't anticipate, you wouldn't think about. Like, that's not something that pops into my head when I think about betting golf. But it's also good to know because if you really want to bet on something and you can either just not bet at all, which is sometimes a smart strategy, or you can find a different way. So I think it's important to point out.
I think it's important because there are so many options now. And because sports betting apps are now the thing, there are plenty of options. It's not, oh, you just need to pick a winner. You can pick top 20s, top 40s, top 10s, top 5s, head to head matchups. So there's plenty of options. So if there's a way you want to play something, it's probably out there.